Marcos Espinoza here with Right to Life of Central California and all its supporters, urging you to vote no on AB 775.
Lynn Fuller, Executive Assistant, Sacramento Life Center, and I urge you to vote no.
Janelle Trevathan, member of the Board of Directors of a Woman's Friend Medical Clinic, and our over 5,000 supporters urge you to vote no.
Cindy Alon, Director of Development, Women's Resource Clinic, and I urge you to vote no.
Carol Dodds, Executive Director of a Woman's Friend Pregnancy Resource Clinic, and I urge you to vote no.
Deidre Eckel, Executive Director of Alpha Pregnancy Clinics of Napa and Solano County, and I urge you to vote no.
Lisa Angela, Director of Development with Alpha Pregnancy Clinics, and I oppose this bill.
Ruth Van Hall, I'm an RN, and I oppose the bill and urge you to vote no.
I'm Dr. Bernard Van Hall, a licensed medical physician. I urge you to vote no.
I'm Jared Dobbs, private citizen, and I urge a no vote. Thank you.
Tricia Lewis, Executive Director, New Life Sierra Pregnancy Center, and I urge you to vote no.
Nancy Hansen, Executive Director of the Center for Life Choices, representing 1,100 supporters. I urge you to vote no.
Winona Hayes, volunteer at the Center for Life Choices. I urge you to vote no.
Tanya Flores, volunteer at Alternatives Pregnancy Center, and I urge you to vote no.
Brian Johnston with the National Right to Life Committee and the California Pro-Life Council urge a no vote on this coercive mandate. Thank you.
Paula Leary, Executive Director, Pregnancy Medical Clinic in Lodi, and I'm asking you to vote no.
Christine Guzman, private citizen. I urge you to vote no.
My name is Mary Sari, former RN, and I ask you to vote no, please.
Susie Lim, a person. I strongly oppose this bill.
Suzanne Hauk, volunteer and counselor at the Lodi Pregnancy Resource Center, and I strongly urge you to vote no.
Ron Hauk, supporter of the Pregnancy Resource Center in Lodi. I urge a no vote on this misleading bill.
My name is Ralph Merletti, member St. Rose Parish, South Sacramento, and I strongly urge you to vote no on this. Vote no and oppose this very unfair bill.
My name is Penny Gowring, and I'm a private citizen, and I urge you to vote no on this bill.
Christine Jonas, private citizen, please vote no.
Lisa Bordenkircher, registered nurse, director of nursing at a Woman's Friend, and respectfully ask for a no vote. Thank you.
Colleen Puno, board member, Sacramento Life Center, and we respectfully request a no vote from each one of you. Thank you.
Mary Pat Jones, board member, Sacramento Life Center, and I request a no vote. Thank you.
Pat Althizer, resident of Oakhurst, California, gateway to Yosemite, and I urge you to vote no, please.
Jill Althizer, Executive Director of Helping Hands Pregnancy and Parenting Centers located in Oakhurst and Mariposa. Please vote no.
Steve Patton, Director for Family and Respect Life Ministries for the Catholic Diocese of Sacramento, urge your no vote on this bill. Thank you.
Patricia Del Marmo, I'm the Northern California Area Director for Concerned Women for America. I represent 20,000 members in California, and we respectfully request a vote no on this bill. Thank you. Elijah Cherkes, a member of the Society of Clinical Research Professionals, and I urge a no vote on this communist bill.
Jerry Smart, private citizen, I urge you to vote no.
Teresa Smart, registered nurse, plead for you to vote no.
Chris Hansen, fireman paramedic, urge a no vote.
Erica Hansen, and I urge you to vote no.
Renelle Caleb, San Francisco resident, registered nurse. I urge you to vote no.
My name is Chastity Ronan. I'm a San Francisco resident representing over 3,500 financial supporters of Alpha Pregnancy Center and over 7,000 women who have been helped from our organization, urging you to vote no.
I'm Kathy Martinez, family nurse practitioner with Alpha Pregnancy Clinics in Vacaville, and I respectfully ask a no vote. Thank you.
My name is Donna Heckey. I'm Vice President of Real Options Pregnancy Medical Clinics, 3 licensed medical clinics in Silicon Valley, along with our 12,000 supporters, respectfully to ask you to please vote no on AB 755.
Mr. Chairman, a point of order. Point of order, please. Next time when there is time sheets shown, I think that it
Sir, please state your name, organization, and position.
My name is Jonathan Zachariou. I'm pastor of Davis Christian Assembly, and I stand against this measure, this bill.
Linda Cliff, Pregnancy Resource Center of Tracy, and I urge a no vote, please.
I'm Carol Hodgkiss, volunteer client advocate at East County Pregnancy Care Clinic in El Cajon, and I represent 5,000 supporters and urging you to vote no on AB 775.
Josh McClure, here from the San Diego Association for Life, 12 member organizations. They're CPCs, and we urge a no vote.
Sheldon Hadley, board chair of the Crisis Pregnancy Centers in Chico and in Marysville, Yuba City. On behalf of the thousands of women we serve, I urge you to vote no.
Judy Pietromonaco, 26-year volunteer at the Crisis Pregnancy Center, and I urge you to vote no.
Ann Axtell, I'm a registered nurse from Alternative Pregnancy Center, and I very strongly urge you to vote no. Thank you.
Helen Ivakove, Community Outreach Coordinator at Alternatives Pregnancy Center, urging you to vote no.
Diane Stone, registered nurse and nurse manager of the PRC in Tracy. I respectfully urge you to vote no.
Julia Brosserhouse, registered nurse and nurse manager at Alternatives Pregnancy Center in Sacramento, and I strongly urge you to vote no.
Jan England, mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, please vote no.
Jonathan Keller, Director of California Family Council, and on behalf of the thousands of women that are served by pregnancy centers around the state at no cost to taxpayers, we respectfully request that you vote no.
Joyce Hopkinson, Living Well Medical Clinic and Client Advocate. I oppose this bill.
Elizabeth White, Development Director, Living Well Medical Clinic. I respectfully ask that you vote no.
Frank Lee, I'm an electrical contractor up in Grass Valley. I'm personally shocked by that I have to be up here saying.
Please state your name, organization, and position, sir.
Frank Lee, I'm an electrical contractor up in Grass Valley, and I'm shocked over this bill. I oppose it. Thank you.
Randy Martin, Auburn, California, financier of 2 abortions myself. I urge you to vote no.
Mary Hill, Auburn, California. I oppose this bill.
Carol Duty, Director of Pregnancy Support Group in Woodland. Please say no.
Margaret Walton, retired registered nurse, board president for the Woodland Pregnancy Support Group. I urge a no vote on this bill.
Sherry Gardner, asked to represent 3,000 Protestant, Catholic, and Mormon churches in California. They've asked me to tell you they want you to vote no. Thank you.
Leslie Foss, representing Butte County, 40 Days for Life, Chico Respects Life, 35-year sufferer from abortion. Vote no, please.
Patrick Lee, Catholic priest, Diocese of Sacramento. I urge a no vote.
Linda Walter, member of the National Association of Pro-Life Nurses. I strongly urge you to vote no on this bill.
Reverend Olga Herman with JC Resource Center, and I'm in behalf of the thousands of women I've ministered to who've been hurt by abortion, and I urge you to please vote no.
I'm Beth Tadgy. I'm a registered nurse also, and I'm representing the California Nurses for Ethical Standards, and we urge a no.
Bob Slakey, private citizen. I strongly urge you to vote no on AB 775.
Sandra Palacios with the California Catholic Conference in strong opposition to AB 775.
Dave Leatherby, local businessman, father of 10, great-grandfather to 31, and a grandfather to 30, and I say vote no. Thank you.
When you vote on facilitating, promoting prenatal murder, remember...
Please state your name, your organization, and your position, sir. Thank you. Thank you all for your comments and your engagement on this issue. We will now have questions from members of the committee. Are there any questions or comments from members? Dr. Wood.
I just want to say, Mr. Chu, that I will be voting in support of your bill today. I do take a little bit of exception with the comments about informed consent coming from one of the opponents of the bill. I believe that informed consent it means that people are entitled to the entire spectrum of information available to them to make a decision. And you know, I owned my own dental practice for many, many years, and I had to put a lot of postings in my office that I personally didn't think were necessary. However, I did, and because it was asked of me to do that, and it did provide valuable information for my patients, which I always followed up with verbally. You know, people need to know when they're going to one of these clinics what services are provided by the clinic and the qualifications of the staff providing the services should that be asked. Now, unfortunately, it appears that in some of these clinics, those are not the rules that are being played by, and it's a shame that for those of you who are actually trying to provide a service in a medical clinic, that some of the bad actors have led us to this point here. It's critical, in my opinion, that people get factual information, that they know their options, and if it leads to a posting, it leads to a posting. So I would say that, you know, if you've had these bad actors, you really should. It would have been nice that hadn't happened, but it has happened, and it has had an effect. And then some of these clinics are clearly potentially affecting the health of women's lives, and that is very, very unfortunate. And for that reason alone, I would vote in favor of this bill.
Additional comments from committee members? See none. Assembly members. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Patterson.
I think some compelling cases have been made here with respect to the constitutionality of this. This is very, very serious encroachment, it seems to me, number one. Number two, I, in quite some time ago, had a wonderful opportunity to be a founding board member of a pregnancy care center in Fresno, California. And with all due respect, I take huge umbrage to the huge reach and exaggeration and I think downright misrepresentation of what organizations that I have given time and also, you know, the reality of this matter being the political and complex issue that it is. It does seem to me that we ought to be, if we're going to err, let's err on the side of the Constitution. Let's err on the side of allowing people.
Excuse me, members of the public. We need to have no clapping, no booing, no hissing, no cheering. Assemblymember Patterson is speaking. We'd like him to be able to finish.
To err on the side of the Constitution. I'm also very concerned about not only the constitutional infringement with respect to speech and essentially going down a pathway of requiring and forcing government approved speech, but I do think that there is whether supporters appreciate it or not, I do think that there is a real infringement on an exercise of religion. There are many, many people who have a deeply held faith, and that faith comes from theology and practice and a belief and an understanding of the sanctity of life. There must be room for all of these points of view, and I'm going to be voting no on this, and would ask my colleagues to vote no as well, because this is, I think, a slippery and dangerous path to go down.
Additional questions or comments from committee members? Seeing none, Assembly Members Chu and/or Burke, would you like to close?
Or do you want me to respond? You can go ahead.
I'm happy to start. So first of all, let me start by thanking the members of the public and saying that I very much respect the diversity of opinions on this question and want to thank folks for coming to express their perspectives as well as to the difference of perspectives that we have in this committee. Let me first address Assemblymember Patterson's perspective on constitutionality. We obviously spent quite a bit of time thinking about the constitutionality of what we are proposing, knowing that there may likely be a challenge here. And as was reiterated before, the recent case law is such that, given how we've drafted this bill, I believe very firmly in its constitutionality. And let me again clearly reiterate that this bill doesn't require any referrals to abortion clinics, doesn't provide any preferences for one type of clinic over another, doesn't prevent any center from continuing the activities that they are engaged in today. That being said, a recent case this year, federal case, upheld a local ordinance in the state of California that referred to the fact that there were misleading and false statements that were being engaged in. And as you heard from testimony, surveys of these crisis pregnancy centers show that 91% of them linked abortions with health problems such as breast cancer, infertility, mental health issues, and even death. And we know that false information can lead to negative health outcomes. Let me also say that this same federal judge was allowed to order clinics to post notices saying whether or not they offer abortions or abortion referrals. And our ordinance is very narrowly drafted. Again, as it says, for unlicensed facilities, we simply say you have to disclose that you are not a licensed medical facility and you don't have a licensed medical provider on staff. And for licensed facilities, all that we ask is a notice that says that California has public programs that can provide access to family planning, prenatal care, or abortion services, and a phone number. It's that simple. So again, respectfully disagree, but I'm happy to engage in further conversations about this.
Yeah. Oh, we can just close. That was good enough.
Okay, thank you for the close. We can entertain a motion.
Move the bill.
We have a motion. We have a second. The motion is due pass as amended to Judiciary Committee. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Bonta?
Aye.
Bonta, aye. Mainshine? Bonilla? Burke?
Aye.
Burke, aye. Chavez?
No.
Chavez, no. Chu?
Aye.
Chu, aye. Gomez? Gonzalez? Hernandez? Lackey?
No.
Lackey, no. Nazarian? Patterson? No. Patterson, no. Ridley Thomas? Rodriguez? Aye. Rodriguez, aye. Santiago? Steinnorth? Thurman? Aye. Thurman, aye. Waldron? No. Waldron, no. Wood? Aye. Wood, aye. 6 to 4.
The vote count is currently 6-4. The bill will remain on call, and other currently absent members will have an opportunity to vote.
Thank you. Appreciate it, colleagues.
Thank you.
Good luck, man.